Welcome to Daily Current Affairs series. Today we will discuss 5th May current affairs. Myself Sunny Sandeep. Welcome to my channel Gear Up for Group 1 exam. Let us discuss the current affairs. States with high swine flu rate record most COVID-19 cases. We are seeing day by day cases increasing in India. Almost now 46,416 cases recorded at. If you see the highest number of cases, these are 5 states Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Delhi, Tamil Nadu account for about 70% of India's confirmed COVID-19 cases. That on Monday stood at 46,416 cases. If you see the National Center for Disease Control reports that NCDC shows that these are also states that consistently accounted for the bulk of swine flu cases are seasonal influenza H1N1 since 2015. If you see the last year, that is 2019, 54% of confirmed cases of H1N1 in these states only. If you see the 2018 also, 65% of H1N1 cases are from these states only. 1 year it comes Maharashtra may lead, or Gujarat may lead, or Rajasthan may lead. But apart from these 5 states are accounted more for H1N1 cases. What is H1N1? It is influenza, seasonal influenza. If you see the COVID-19 cases are also, the more number of cases are from these states only. From that, what we have to draw? From these states, if you control H1N1 cases, by that we can control COVID-19 cases also. If you take the reports of H1N1 cases, from that we can make any vaccine or any control measures from that also. That's why we have taken this article. Here if you see the right side picture, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Delhi and Tamil Nadu together account for about 68% of all COVID-19 cases and 63% of all H1N1 cases recorded in the last decade, that means 2010 to 2020. The chart plots H1N1 cases against COVID-19 cases. If you see the mean between these H1N1 COVID-19 cases, almost Maharashtra, Gujarat, Delhi and Tamil Nadu and Rajasthan are these the states with high swine flu rate. Next one, not for return of stranded Indians. Because of due to lockdown or due to COVID-19, stranded Indians are stuck where they are, apart from throughout the world. For that, government has decided to allow the hundreds of thousands of Indians stranded in different parts of the world to return home in phased manner. We have to see that in a phased manner only. In the first phase, they are for distressed citizens. These flights to start from Gulf on May 7th. There is a rescue mission for that stranded Indians who are a part of the world, who are different part of the world. Here, citizens will be brought back according to a list prepared by the respective embassies. For every country, there is a respective embassies are there. That report is given by that embassies only. We will follow that strictly on payment basis only. That payment cost has to be incurred by that stranded Indians only. That government no need to put that cost to to return back the stranded Indians. The returnees will have to pay for the quarantine and hospital facilities that they need to return. Here, 60 non-scheduled commercial flights to operate from about 12 countries in first page. What are these countries? In the first half, those flights will be from the Gulf region only. At least half of those flights will be from the Gulf region only. What Gulf region will consist of? United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, these countries like in considered under Gulf region only. Apart from these Gulf region, while the rest would bring from passengers from US, UK, Malaysia, Singapore and Philippines. There are more number of Kerala stranded Indians are in Gulf regions only. That's why there are 3 states who are having more number of stranded Indians. They are Kerala state, Tamil Nadu and Delhi. These states are having more number of stranded Indians. That's why we will start with these 3 states that we can return all these stranded Indians in a phased manner. Next one, editorial explanation. It is very important explanation. It is a very important editorial. App for one season only. Here, nowadays we are seeing about the one app, that is Arogya Setu app. Why government is giving that to not that to trace the COVID-19 patients who are affected with COVID-19. To see, we have to see the another side of the coin. In that app, we have to give our basic information, our sensitive information like gender, age, and phone number, and our details regarding our health. I have one doubt. If I supposed to give that data in that app, whether that is safe or not, that comes under privacy issue. That's why Arogya Setu app has sparked concerns. It cannot be made mandatory without a legal backing. For any app has to be installed or should be used, that should be mandatory when only there is a legal legislative authorization only. Otherwise, it is a voluntary only. The government has no power to make the apps use compulsory without a legislative authorization. If you see the going by the directive issued under the DM Act, that is Disaster Management Act, all the people residing in containment zones, who are working in public and private partnerships, who are working under lockdown situations, will have to download the app, that is Arogya Setu app. Here, all countries are came up with different types of apps who are there, that apps are collecting some data regarding the COVID-19 patients. Here there are different states, the different countries also there. Here one Australia is there, European Union is there. Here the European Union has laid guidelines to the effect that such app use should be voluntary only, that it should preserve user privacy and should not be used after it becomes no longer necessary. We have to see this situation in this like this. That's why there is a editorial like the app for one season only. We have to use this app for up to COVID-19 situation ends only. Otherwise, it may concern different problems like privacy issue. There is an important case about privacy, that is Justice K.S. Pottaswamy. There is a very important case regarding judgment given by our Supreme Court, Justice K.S. Pottaswamy and ANR V and Union of India and others. There is a this case tells about what relevance whether right to privacy is a fundamental right under Article 21. There is a triangle, golden triangle, that is Article 14, 19, 21. This privacy, the right to privacy comes under this golden triangle only. That's why there is an important judgment about Justice K.S. Pottaswamy. Right to privacy is under fundamental right of Article 21. Next one. DRDO develops a disinfection tower. We know that last 1 month we are seeing the disinfection equipments for our human beings. What about the gadgets? There is a possibility of that COVID-19 may be on the gadgets also. If you see the chemical, we are using disinfections with isopropyl or any other chemicals. If you use that chemicals on gadgets, it may spoil our gadgets also or may destroy our gadgets. That's why DRDO develops a disinfection tower, that is known as UV blaster, can disinfect gadgets also. It is useful for high-tech surfaces like electronic computer and other gadgets in laboratories and offices that are not suitable for disinfection with chemical methods. We are using up to now chemical methods only. That's why DRDO came up with the UV blaster. It was developed by Laser Science and Technology Center. It was developed by Laser LSTC, Laser Tech. Here the time given for that disinfection time is about 10 minutes only. This can use for to clean our sanitize our gadgets. Next one. India flies nod for Gilgit-Baltistan poles. First we have to see what is the region about GB poles, that is Gilgit-Baltistan. If you see the Jammu Kashmir map, there are four countries surrounded by our Jammu Kashmir. The first one India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, China. Here Jammu Kashmir is divided into some parts. The first one Indian control Kashmir, that is IOK. ICK. Next one, Aksai Chin occupied by the China since 1962 Indo-China War. Next one, Pakistan. That is also Pak occupied Kashmir. Here we have to divide this Jammu Kashmir into three parts, that is Pak occupied Kashmir, Indian Kashmir and Aksai Chin. There is a gifted to China also, that's a Sangskam probe. Sangskam. Here why this Gilgit Baltistan in news? Why? Because Pakistan Supreme Court allows to government to hold elections there. For that our center issues demarcate. The government of Pakistan or its judiciary has no locus standi and territories illegally and forcibly occupied by it. We have to see that POK is a Pak occupied Kashmir. There is a Gilgit Baltistan province. For that Pakistan Supreme Court issued a elections for that. India is completely rejects such actions and continued attempts to bring the material changes. That means by giving permission to hold the elections in that Gilgit Baltistan province, that is a material changes in Pakistan occupied areas of the Indian territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Here we have to see what are the different parts in Jammu Kashmir. What are they? Pak occupied Kashmir and Aksai Chin and Indian control Kashmir. For that we have to see that provinces or states regarding that Gilgit Baltistan only. Next one, I promised to make a previous year's papers analysis, that is UPSC Prelims 2019. The economic cost of food grains to the Food Corporation of India is minimum support price MSP and bonus if any paid to the farmers plus. We know that what is MSP, that is a minimum support price. Who will give that? That is a given by Food Corporation of India. Here we have to know about the economic cost of food grains. The economic cost has three main components. The first one, procurement cost, procurement price and distribution cost. Here the economic cost has three main components, that is the first one, procurement cost, procurement price and distribution cost. Here the procurement incidentals are the initial cost incurred during the procurement of the food grains. What is it is asking about? Whether it is a transportation cost only or interest cost only, procurement incidentals and distribution cost, procurement incidentals and charges for the godowns. If you see the situation, four options given here. By knowing our concept, that is the economic cost has three main components. They are procurement cost, price, distribution cost. By knowing that concept only we can answer this question. By answering our question, right option is 3, procurement incidentals and distribution cost only. What is the procurement incidentals? The procurement incidentals are initial costs incurred during the procurement of food grains. With this we can conclude our video. Thanks for watching, and like, share and subscribe to my channel Gear Up for Group 1 exam. This is Sunny Sandeep signing off. Take care. Bye bye.